Well guys, I have just completed one of the most surprising fuel economy MPG loops I've ever done in 10 years. I'm comparing the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra to a brand new Ford F-150. They both have twin turbocharged V6 engines. One is a hybrid, one is not. And I'm gonna run them on a highway loop with a trailer and without. The F-150 is actually my personal truck. It's a crew cab, four-wheel drive with a shorter 5.5-foot bed. It is a hybrid. Let me show you under the hood. Bam! I'm using this truck as my benchmark. It's a 3.5-liter V6, twin turbocharged of course, but it also has the electric motor sandwiched between the engine and the transmission. It's a 10-speed, 430 horsepower, and 570 pound-feet of torque, and a 24 mpg highway rating on this truck. And this all-new Tundra is our long-term test truck at TFL. It's a crew cab, very similar configuration, shorter 5.5-foot bed. It's a four-wheel drive with a TRD off-road package. It's got a twin-turbo V6 under the hood. Let me show you. Bam! It's an all-new truck, all-new engine. The V8 is no more. It's a 3.4 liter technically if you count the specific displacement. Twin turbo V6, and it's not a hybrid. The hybrid is not available for sale quite yet. 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. So a little bit less torque, of course, well, a lot less torque, and less horsepower than in the Ford, but still a 10-speed automatic and a 22 highway MPG rating from the EPA. All right, I am running the Ford first. I'm going to be using premium fuel, 91 octane for both trucks, and topping them off exactly the same way at the same pump. So let me get going. This F-150 is a Power Boost hybrid, which means it has a pressurized fuel system, which means I do have to push the release for the gas cap, and when the truck decides it's safe, it will open it as it just did. All right, 91 octane it is. These are turbocharged premium engines, so we'll give them the great fuel for best performance. Okay, as always, 30 seconds to top it off. We're doing it in the very same way as we've always done. Very precise, but not to overfill. All right, that was a decent top off. Good. I'm gonna top off the Tundra, and we'll do Tundra empty and then Ford towing, and then we'll swap them. Of course, I'm using tow haul mode in the Ford, and I'm gonna zero out my trip meter right there. I'm ready to go. All right, this is not a hybrid Tundra. Those are not for sale yet. When one is available, we'll do this test again. And so it's a little bit simpler. It actually has a cap here, and I can open it anytime, and I can top off. Once again, 91 octane for best performance, although these trucks can run on 87. Toyota is designed to run on 87 as well. And they have about similar sized tanks. The new Tundra has approximately a 32-gallon tank, and the hybrid F-150 has a 30.6-gallon tank. So they're kind of even. All right, it's all done. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna also zero out the Tundra, and we're gonna run the same loop at the same time. This has become our standard towing highway MPG loop, and this is mostly highway. The average speed will be closer to 60 miles an hour because there's a couple turnarounds and a couple of areas like this where I need to get to the highway. It's gonna be 48.1 miles of distance, judging by my GPS tracker. So I'm tracking it using my altimeter app as always, including my speed. And usually with these new trucks, actually, the Tundra and the Ford, the speedometers are pretty spot on. All right, I am getting on the highway. This is the merge lane. I'm gonna go about 24 miles in one direction and about another 24 miles in the other direction. So it cancels out, it's a loop. I'm gonna go to the same spot. And I'm using this F-150 hybrid as kind of a benchmark. I know it's not exactly the same powertrains, and the Tundra is not a hybrid that I'm testing today. But nonetheless, this is real world highway towing loops that you've been asking for. Here in the hybrid F-150, I have plenty of power. I'm not using a lot of throttle, driving normally. And right there, I'm already at the 70 mile an hour that I'm going to be using in both trucks. Set my cruise control, and I'm going to just forget about it. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you kind of a sound test of what the sound level inside this truck. I'm going to compare the two, especially with this trailer, and what it's like to tow on the highway long distance. How far can you go with the latest 10-speed automatics? And this Ford F-150 has a 373 rear differential ratio, so it's actually pretty aggressive. It's not really meant for ultimate efficiency. This truck is able or is rated to tow up to 10,400 pounds. So let me roll down the highway and I'll give you a quick sound test and also turn around. The trailer I'm using today is the same one we've used for quite some time. It's an iron ball tandem axle trailer, and I have the 1965 Ford F-100 on top of it for a total weight of 8,100 pounds. So that's what these trucks will have to tow. Alright, it's time I do a sound test. I'm going to be doing it at 65 miles per hour because this is a construction zone, that's the speed limit. Here we go. 62.9, that's a really good result. One of the quieter trucks we've ever tested. Maybe closer to 60 decibels would be the absolute quietest towing vehicle of all time. So this is a very good result. Of course, the pavement is pretty good. There was no traffic around me, and this is exactly how we always try to measure the sound inside the truck. Even for a work vehicle like this, it actually has pretty decent insulation and sound isolation from the road. Here's the trailer management system in the Ford. Under features, I have the towing tab. And whenever I plug in a new trailer, it asks me whether I want to add a new trailer or select an existing trailer configuration. In this case, I do have an existing trailer configuration. It's called TFL 8,100 pounds, which is the weight of the trailer. I also have several others, including the empty version of this trailer. And I really like this system because it's pretty handy. I can select whether I want sway control or not. Of course, I always keep it on for daily use, connection notification, and then, of course, checklist. And I also have, wow, this is weird, blind spot is usually 27 feet. I'm not sure why it's a million feet. 25 length and 7 foot wide. But I like this system, and I also have this menu where I can do a quick test and check. I can check my lights, I can check my trailer information, and I also have my towing status where it actually shows me that I'm fairly level. I'm just a little bit uphill right now. Alright, so I'm done with this portion of the run. I'm gonna get on this exit and turn around and go back towards the pump. I gotta say, with this 8,100 pound trailer behind me, the F-150 tows in a very confident manner. As you saw, it's pretty quiet. There was no sway, trailer sway whatsoever. The truck is nice and level. I feel in control. I have a lot of gauges and information that allow me to know how cold or hot my transmission is. All the temperatures are in check. No big deal. And lots of torque from this engine, which means I almost, I was between 8th and 10th gear. So I was staying in the upper gears during this towing run, which means that I should be pretty efficient. So let me get back on the highway and then get to the pump and show you exactly how much fuel I used here and how much fuel the Tundra used. That's right behind me. There it is, 11.2 mpg. That's what the truck tells me in the Ford. Let's see if that's correct. Alrighty. I'm gonna top off, same fuel once again, and then we'll switch. The Ford is gonna run empty in eco mode, and the Tundra will tow. There we go. Interesting that in the truck, in tow haul mode, in the F-150 hybrid, it never goes into electric only mode. As you saw that, all the miles the engine was involved in. But it still offers the electric assist, right? As you're accelerating and maybe cruising. So hopefully that played into effect. Okay, we'll see exactly what we get. Okay, that was just over 4 gallons. Let's calculate. Total distance, 48.1 miles. Divide by 4.089 equals 11 if I round up, 11.8. This is a really great result. It's a little bit better than the truck said. That's actually quite good, almost 12 with 8,100 pounds in tow. Nice. $21.3 was just 21.4. So actually this truck has about 2,000 miles now on the clock, so it's pretty much broken in, and fuel efficiency looks to be improving since I first picked this truck up brand new in Texas. Alrighty, let's figure out how efficient it really was. Okie dokie. This should be a pretty quick top off. Should be just what, over 2 gallons? Maybe a little bit more, 2.5 gallons? Wow. Did I say 2 gallons? Well, I didn't expect it to be almost exactly that way. This could be a super nice result. All right, let's check the calculation. 48.1 miles divided by 2.006 equals 23, basically 24.0. This is really great. Remember when I was, well, midway through my road trip from Texas to Colorado, I said, okay, it got about 19 then, and I said it should improve over time. Well, it did. This is very impressive, and this is better than the EPA. As always, for a towing test, we use our Gen Y heavy-duty hitches. Height adjustable, also very capable. And I can tell you here, the Tundra is easier to hook up than the Ford. These chain hoops on this Tundra are more accessible, easier to reach, and I just had an easier time doing it. And this is how Toyota is now doing their 7-pin connection. also pretty nice. Let me go inside and show you what towing features it offers inside the cab. I've defined this trailer as my trailer, and because I was running empty yesterday, I turned down my gain, so I'm gonna turn it up to 5. I'm using heavy electric, and then if I want to adjust my settings, I can actually go through here. Automatic detection of length, which is a nice feature. Here's my pitch and roll. Looks like I'm pretty level actually. My mileage for the trip, of course my tire pressures, and then if I want to change it, I can actually deselect and edit the trailer. The new Tundra has not one but 2 tow haul modes. I'm gonna select the basic one here, and then you can turn this knob to go tow plus, which is a little bit more aggressive tow haul mode. And technically for heavier trailers like I'm towing today, tow plus is what I need. All right, I'm getting on the highway with a trailer in the Tundra, and in many ways this new Tundra looks to be chasing the F-150. Well, the F-150 is the segment leader. It kind of makes sense. So Toyota got rid of their V8. They gave it a twin turbo 3.5 liter or 3.4 liter to be more precise engine. You can refer to it in both displacements. And 10-speed automatic is here. Traditional body and frame. They redesigned everything on this Tundra. The new frame, new suspension, coil rear springs instead of leaves like in that Ford. And unlike that Ford, it has a more efficiency-minded 331 rear differential ratio. But how does it tow long distance? Let's find out. Alright, so it's now time to get on the highway, merging. I'm in tow plus mode, which of course adjusts transmission, shift points, accelerator mapping, and also steering according to Toyota. So everything should be set up just right for heavier trailers. I can feel there's plenty of torque. Actually, this truck, in a very similar manner to the Ford, doesn't mind this trailer at all. That's a very pleasant thing. So now I'm gonna set my cruise control. And this truck, because it's a little bit more fancy version, this is a Tundra Limited, which is their mid-grade, it does have adaptive cruise control system. I'm gonna set it the same speed, same route, same distance, and the Ford is behind me. Once again, my editor and camera guy is driving alongside with me. I want to show you something very interesting. The payload and the curb weight on these two trucks. The Ford has a gross vehicle weight rating of 7,350 and a payload of 1,708. And that calculates to a truck curb weight of 5,642. This Toyota Tundra has a few more options. Of course, it's a limited trim. And gross vehicle weight rating is 7,230. Payload is actually 1,400 pounds for a truck weight of 5,830. So actually this Tundra, not being a hybrid, is actually quite significantly heavier than the Ford. I think that's very interesting. All right, let me test the interior sound on this new Tundra while rolling at the same speed as I did with the Ford, about 65 miles per hour, as I'm set right now. Yeah, that is remarkable. 61.9. It's a little bit quieter. Both trucks are quiet, but this new Tundra, it was really quiet on the iGauntlet when we showed you that. It's really quiet right now here on the highway. Yeah, they really improved this truck. If I don't look in my rear view mirror, I wouldn't even know that I was towing a trailer. It's that nice and easy. Is it better than the F-150? You know, the F-150 was also very solid, but if I just induce a little bit of direction sway, I think this Tundra may be handling it a little bit better. Alright, it's time to turn around. I'm done with my northbound section of this trip. I'm gonna turn around and go southbound. And like I was just saying, really good stability. Suspension is dialed in. The RPM seem to be hovering around 2,000 in tow plus mode, which is a little bit higher than I saw in the Ford. The trip meter in the Toyota says 10.6, so a little bit lower than the Ford at this stage of the game. And of course, there's no electric motor to help me out in this Tundra. When we get the hybrid Tundra, I'll do this run once again so we can show it to you. Check it out, it's almost identical. According to the trip meter, the Tundra says 11.1 after this trip. So let's get to the pump, and I cannot wait to see exactly what it is. Alrighty. Okay. If this is the same or close, I'll be pretty surprised. Here we go. So if it's around 4 gallons, a little bit over 4 gallons, then we'll know it's very close to what the Ford had. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I can't believe it. I don't know if you guys can. Let's calculate. Now the same distance, 48.1 miles, divide by 3.876. It's better. 12.4. Wow. I did not expect this, guys. I expected them to be similar. The Ford may be a little bit better because of its electric assist. I'm flabbergasted. This is a great result. This is actually way better than any Tundra towing or any V8 truck towing here at the elevation that we've ever tested. So good job, Toyota. Now the Ford says 26.4, which is for this highway run is good. It's better than the EPA, but let's see what the pump says. Bam! That's insane. Let's calculate this, but I don't know what to tell you guys. Same pump, same day. 48.1 divided by 1.339 is 35.9 gigawatts. What? I'm speechless. Okay, so maybe it's good, maybe it's not 36 good, but we did hit a tiny bit of traffic. The truck was using a lot of electricity. Awesome. If this can be maintained, this is awesome. Like I said, it's a shocker. First of all, both trucks did really well, and I did not expect Toyota to actually come out on top as far as towing numbers is concerned. The F-150 hybrid had a mind-boggling unladen fuel efficiency, but maybe there's something else going on, like maybe an air pocket in the fuel tank. Nonetheless, I think this was a very positive test. I hope you find it useful. And if you're wondering about prices, that Ford cost about $51,000 MSRP. The Tundra was at about $57,000 MSRP, so they have comparable prices. Of course, you can configure them at the same price if you wanted to. As always, go back to TFLtruck.com for the latest news, views, and real-world fuel efficiency MPG reviews, and TFL-studios.com for everything automotive.